happens to be Mr. Deepak Nagpal, who's a Senior Knowledge Manager with PwC. May I invite Deepak to come over here and enlighten us with the book review that he has for us.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I think Siddharth has said much about the power of choices. So another power which we really have is the power of habit. And today I'm going to review this book by Charles Duke called Power of Habit. This book is written, Charles Duke is a journalist with New York Times, and before he wrote this book, he studied a lot of scientific he studied a lot of scientific articles and journals and interviewed a lot of scientists regarding social psychology, clinical psychology and neuroscientists before he could actually make a research on what habit is, how does habit impact each and every one of us in our daily lives. He makes in this book, Charles discusses the framework of habit and how does that framework impact each and every one of us and how we can and what tweaks we can make in that framework so that we can actually move out from the habit we want to and get into the habits or adopt the habits we really want to get into. Friends, at the back of this book, he makes a very interesting statement. I just want to read this statement, that most of the choices we make each day may feel like that they are the products of well-considered decision-making, but they are not. They are actually our habits, which are actually driven by the subconscious mind. In fact, one study says that to the extent of 60 to 80% of the decisions we make in a day are our habits, though we consider those decisions as, though we consider those choices as our decisions. This book is presented in three parts, in which the author presents the first part as the power of choices, the power of habit in our personal lives, in which he discusses how habit impact each and every one of us and how we can actually change those habits. The second is the power of habit in businesses and organizations. So how does businesses use this power of habit and really inculcate and impacts each and every one of us habit. And he makes these claims with some very interesting cases which I'm going to discuss in the coming sections. The third one is that the third part of this book is the power of habit in social movements, where he discusses how habits can really impact the social movements to the benefit of the person who is creating that social movements. In this book, the author, as I said, the author discusses this framework, this habit framework, with the help of very interesting examples, like how was Michael Phelps, who is a world record holder in swimming, was able to break that record even when during that event his goggles were full of water. Even then he was able to break that record. Second, how the ad men were able to create a very obscure activity of toothbrushing into a daily routine activity globally. So this was again, if you have read about toothbrushing, it was never an activity which was very common. And it was just because of these admins, they promoted it in such way that they were able to inculcate that habit in each and every one of us globally. And third, a very interesting example which I picked up was that how the advertisers are able to identify and target the pregnant women even before they disclose that news with anyone. The advertisers, in fact, that's a reality. I've read it multiple times, that the advertisers and these businessmen, they are able to identify women with preciseness, those who are pregnant, and start selling products to them even before they disclose this news with anyone. So it's a very interesting book, and before I end this section, I just wanted to quickly discuss this framework of habit, and I'm going to quickly, I have some printouts. You can probably take a look at it. You can share these printouts. See, this habit loop, what he says is that this habit loop has three parts. One is the cue, second is the reward, and the third is the routine. So in this framework, he says that the cue is actually the trigger which happens at a particular time or maybe at a particular location when you are with some people, when you are with someone, or you did something, or maybe you are experiencing a particular emotion. So these are the 5 triggers, and he says that if you really want to change a habit, you just observe that activity with respect to these 5 parameters, and over a period of time just observe what is actually that is triggering your habit. Then second one is the reward. That he says that whenever you do something, you are actually looking for a reward. So, and if you really want to change that habit, just try and flipping those rewards, just try to keep on changing those, try to flip with, experiment with those rewards. And when you are sure that what exactly is your reward and what exactly is the trigger, you can, in between the routine part, you can change that routine part. And this is just a quick glimpse of that framework which Charles has discussed in this book. And in the end, I would really want to recommend this book to everyone, because most of us are at times they are struggling with probably I would not say struggling, but most of us we want to change some of our habits and we want to probably adapt some habits. So I think this is a very good book for all of those who really want to get into some new habits and discard the old ones. Thank you.